In this video, we're going to take a look at how to fulfill inventory requests. Here on the dashboard, you will see in this very first widget all of your pending requests. This is a nice quick way to jump to any of these pending requests and address them right away. This widget shows you who made the request, if it's associated with an event, when the request was made, and a link directly to that request detail page. The other way to get to requests is in the inventory section. There's a request page. This request page has all requests, including any fulfilled requests, not just the pending requests. And you can search for requests here or filter it down. So let's just look at created, which is basically your pending requests. Now what we're going to do is jump into a request detail page and work on fulfilling that request. On the request detail page, you'll see all of the details related to that request, including who made the request, which manufacturer the devices are for, which event it's associated with, if it is associated with an event, the requester's shipping address, the requested inventory, any notes that were left, and any comments. So let's look at fulfilling this request. We'll go back to the top. We start with tracking info. If we do have tracking information, we can check this toggle, add the carrier, add the tracking number, and that information will be associated with the transfer that's created from fulfilling this request. We aren't going to do that right now. We'll just skip down to the next section, which shows the specifics of what was requested. And then just below that, we have a fulfillment section where we can select the inventory that we want to fulfill this request with. So what we're going to do is click the Select Inventory button. Clicking the Select Inventory button brings up this modal where you have options for filtering and selecting the inventory. You can choose a custodian that you want to transfer from. You can select the inventory type, whether it's a device or a container. Then you can go to this inventory field and start to search for the inventory that you'd like to transfer. So I'm going to search for some inventory. Once it comes up, I hit the plus button to add that to the list of items that I want to send. We'll just click a few things here. Now you see that those items have been added. I can adjust the quantity that I want to send. And when I'm done, I just hit done. And there are two options for fulfilling the request. The first is a complete fulfillment, and to do that, I would just hit fulfill. But I also have the option to partially fulfill this order. So if I don't have everything I need right now to send, I can partially fulfill. That will leave this request open, and I can come back at a later time to complete the fulfillment. So we'll do that to show what that looks like. Click partially fulfill. By doing that, I've created a transfer of that inventory I selected and left this request still open as partially fulfilled. Go back to the request page and you can see the same request is partially fulfilled, and the first part of the fulfillment was done with transfer 15. Let's go back in and complete the fulfillment, which is done by following the exact same steps. Scroll down to the fulfillment section, select the inventory that you want to fulfill this request with. Click done. And now you'll see I have the option to complete this request fulfillment. By doing that, I have created a second transfer. And it's initializing and updating right now. And as soon as that's done, you'll see there's a device included in that transfer. I should note that the rep that made the request is notified each time those transfers are created, so they're aware that inventory is on its way. They will need to accept those transfers in order to get those items in their custody. If they decline, the custody remains with the original custodian. There is another video in the Help Center that goes into details on transfers, but I just wanted to note what happens when those transfers are created. We go back to the request page. You'll see that that request that we've been working on is now fulfilled, and you're all set.